All right, so here's my reaction to UFC Fight Night Adesanya versus Pyfer. And I was able to post this last night because people over wasn't able to like stop and record. A great card, amazing card, probably the card of the year so far, along with like Vallejos Emmett, which was only 2 weeks ago. Two fight nights have been the best cards of the year, not the three numbered events. But dude, this fucking main event, bro. Oh my god. So let's get to it, bro. Izzy versus Joe Pyfer. So this fight looks exactly how I think it's gonna look for the most part early on, the round one, where Izzy's outstriking him. You know, Joe did shoot early. He did shoot early as expected. I expect him to do that, but I think that would help us, help like our case of him gassing out and slowing down, which it looked like he was in the second round. Like Izzy did a really good job controlling the range, saying we're not gonna be in the pocket up close. I'm not gonna be up against the fence. I'm gonna be controlling this shit. We're gonna be at a longer range where I could kick you and I could jab you. Your takedowns are gonna be harder. That's exactly what he did. He was controlling the lead hand of Pyfer, or working well with his lead hand. I'm sorry, like where he didn't allow the two to come, because Joe Pyfer did a really good job though, getting that dirty boxing range, at least making it dirty. He wasn't having a lot of success there, but at least trying to do it with elbows, with his right hand, with you trying to do some uppercuts, some left hooks. But Israel Adesanya was controlling the range well enough to just get him off. You know, stay out of range, stay there. But yeah, so I expect he was chopping up the leg of Joe. Second round starts off pretty well. We like starts off pretty well. You know, same thing. And then there was a moment where it looked like he was landing well on Joe, but he did land. He didn't hit hard. Joe Pyfer was saying that he didn't hit hard, so he was able to like just take whatever damage. Because I saw, I think with Izzy, he looked a little slower in the hands. Like when he was coming down like a 1-2, he looked like he didn't want to commit to it as much. Which I understand. You don't want to overextend, get taken down, which is good. You just outstrike him, and then you could do that more later on in the fight. But he did that way too early, in my opinion. He had the Drickus round 3, round 4 moment where he gets in a brawl with the guy who wants to brawl with you, who hits harder than you, whose thing is to hit you hard and take you down. Especially Joe Pyfer. That was very dumb. He gets into a brawl, like he looked like he hurt Joe with like a low kick or something, or maybe a right hand, and then he started feeling himself early on. I'm like, okay, we're good. But I also was like, this is what I saw against Drickus. You start to fear yourself, you get this level of confidence, and your fight IQ, your game plan goes out the window. That's exactly what happened here. He started to brawl with Joe Pyfer, and it's like, dude, what are we doing? There was one moment where he got himself up against Cage, and he's like this. I'm like, oh my god. He puts himself up against Cage because he's getting in his face, and then he escapes that from Joe Pyfer with the right hand. He circles out, and then I think it was right before the takedown, and then gets in his face and continues it. Gets hit with the right hand with whatever. Gets hit with the right hand again, whatever. But then goes in while shaking his head like this. Gets hit again, and then I don't know what Joe Pyfer did. He like kind of knocked Izzy like off balance, and then took him down, and then that was it. He took him down. He got in half guard, so he's already in a really dominant. He's already in a pretty dominant position over a guy like Izzy. Gets in the full mount, and then gets his back taken. Almost gets rear naked choked, and then then does get ground and pound TKO'd. I know once he was like kind of flat out on his back, it was done. That's a terrible position to be in, especially against a high level guy like Blow Pyfer, who I think Izzy threw this one away. Joe Pyfer did good capitalizing, but I think it's one of those fights where Izzy threw this one away. He was looking like he was on his way to cruise to a decision. He could have kept that game plan from the first round, the first bit of the second round, and just wrote it out. He really could have done that. But he didn't. It wasn't a bad TKO. Luckily, it was a second round one. Like I said, if it were to happen, it would be second round TKO from Blow Pyfer. He should have won this fight 50-45 or a knockout. He should have knocked out Joe Pyfer. Stupid. He should have beat the legs up like he was doing, but gets in his face, gets out of that range where he's successful, gets into the range where where Joe Pyfer is successful and then wants to brawl with this guy. It's not like Joe Pyfer initiated him going into the range and cutting off Izzy. No, it was Izzy going into the range. He had Joe backed up against the cage and was like in his face like this. Like, what are you doing? So a dumb fight from Izzy, in my opinion. So I'm not even that mad at the loss. I kind of am, but I'm not upset. I'm mad. Not like mad, obviously. It doesn't affect my life, but whatever. I think Izzy, the next fight for him, I don't fucking know. Maybe they'll use Ribaguri, maybe, but I could see like a RoboCop or a COD. Him getting a dangerous contender like that. Joe Pyfer, probably Kyle Brallo. And I think he'd beat him. Kyle Brallo sucks. So yeah, that was the main event. Co-main event, the nastiest finish I've ever seen. Oh my God. Macy Barber, maybe time after time. I remember she had that seizure last year or something. And then now this, where she looked like you, bro. I didn't watch this fight at all, but when I looked up, I see Grasso land a nice left hand on the chin of Barber, spin her around, sit her down, and one of the nastiest, cleanest back takes I've ever seen. Just literally latches on, it was like that Cheeto Vera when he went for like that, what was it, like a standing arm triangle or something, whatever he went for against that one dude. Latched up the fucking neck, just was so tight on her neck. Oh my God, that was nasty. That was nasty, dude. Oh, bro, left hand down the middle. Spins her around, sits her down, and just latches up the choke. Fuck. Dude, none of these fights were really boring. There was none. Oh my God, that was nasty. That was and then Macy Barber was literally, looked like she died. I thought she got like paralyzed from the neck because when Grasso latched up that rear naked choke, she like snapped Barber's neck. Ooh, shit. But she seemed to be fine. And Barber just looked dazed after the fight. After, like, when they were announcing the card, she's like... But then on the floor, she was like, that was disgusting, dude. What else was I going to say? Fuck. That was really it. I mean, it's a nasty finish here. Great fight. Only one round. The women's fights have been banging, dude, recently. Then we got Michael Chiesa, Nico Price. Bro, Michael Chiesa comes out here. Looks like he bet on himself to lose by sub. Goes to take down Michael Chiesa. I think then Chiesa gets out of it, takes him down, gets his back, and just subs him in a minute. But the thing about this, I was like, who cares? But we expected Chiesa to sub him. The thing about this, though, was like, I felt so bad for Nico Price because, yes, this was set up as Michael Chiesa's retirement fight. We knew this for a while. He's a desk analyst. He gets all the glaze. He's in his home state. And Nico Price comes in on short notice. He also says it's his retirement fight, but I think we found that out at the ceremonial weigh-ins. But and then Michael Chiesa gets the win easily. The crowd cheering for him. Gets a post-fight interview, and then gets the whole package. And in the announcement, they're like, in his last UFC fight ever. Nico Price does not get the last fight ever. Does not get any interview. They didn't even interview this guy, dude. He's been in the UFC for like 20-plus fights. Didn't even interview him, bro. That's fucked up, bro. That's a Michael Chiesa glaze for not suing the UFC and Conor, being a desk guy. But Nico Price gets nothing, dude. Nothing. In his retirement fight, just gets subbed in. I mean, you get your money, bro, but fuck, nothing, dude. That is crazy. It's just funny, bro. Yeah, whatever. Michael Chiesa, these guys are both out of the UFC now, so no more Dodo Bird. It's over. Now, Larian Douglas versus Julian Erosa. Oh my days, bro. Julian Erosa couldn't do shit really. Larian Douglas fucking piston-like jab. Threw Julian Erosa back like twice. High guard, patient, generates a lot of power. He has that kind of like Ilya type of boxing where when he whiffs on a shot, he's like going hard, he like throws his whole body into it, which generates a lot of power. Obviously, he's not doing arm punches, but really just a nice display of boxing. Like he had some good low kicks as well. Just really patient as well, not crazy or anything. Really patient, super accurate on counters. He was like hitting right on the chin, on the temple, Really good job from Larry and Douglas. I want to see him get like a nice step up. Like, really give him a test after this shit. Nasty boxing. That's all I could say. He just destroyed Julian Erosa. Really, really good. Good performance. I don't have nothing else to say. It's his debut against a tough guy, Julian Erosa. Michael Zocosta had a tough fight with him about 10 months ago. Larry and Douglas gets him out of there easy. Easy. Just like a nasty pissing like jab. I think it was like a right hand and then a left hook that sat him down at the end. Just nice, accurate. And he's pretty seasoned. He has some good experience outside of UFC. Chepa Mariscal, Isaac Thompson, Javier Reyes, and a good win over Julian Erosa now. I think these guys would be real deal pressure. That was some shit right there. And we got Yusri Bulgari beat the shit out of Mansour Abdulmalik. A little bit more one-sided than I expected, but yeah. So Bulgari in the first round comes out jabbing, leg kicks, just controlling the range well, killing him with the leg kicks, really beating him up. Mansour couldn't do anything. Round 2 was more of the same. He defended a takedown well, got his back taken and shook him off. That was a good thing that I saw from Bulgari. He did start hurting him in the end, almost got him out of there with knees and body work and right hands down the middle. He also got dropped him bad, saved by the bell, and then round 3 was just more of the same. Really more of the same from Yusri Bulgari. Jab, low kick, right hands, good timing, really good clinch work with the knees to the body. I think, and then he sat him out with the right hand. Just literally a shutout. Like, look at the stats on this. 94-16, 60% versus 27%. He got a couple takedowns, but dude, Yusri Bulgari is, I think you should get a ranked opponent next. I think shoot him up there. He's 33. He trains with Alex. Maybe if they want to give him Izzy, you know, have that another kickboxing guy and a MMA. Oh, fuck, I don't want to see that shit. Fuck that. Because he's not fucking retiring, bro. But oh shit. Yeah, Yusri Bulgari, he's a real deal. Nasty kickboxing, really good awareness in the cage of the range, timing, accuracy. Like, this guy's gonna be really fucking good. He's only he's 33, but I think he has some good time left on him. He's training with Alex. He's been improving at a really good rate since his Contender Series loss in 2024. I think a ranked opponent would be really good right now. Maybe like a Cannoneer. He just beat the shit out of a good prospect. I didn't think Mansour Abdulmalik was that good, but he's still a good prospect in the UFC. He just beat the shit out of him like very easily. Very, very easy. I think he needs a ranked opponent next. Yusri Bulgari. Next up, fucking Cal Nelson, the Saloon 1920s Cowboy versus Terrence McKinney. Gets just fucking destroyed in 24 seconds. And Terrence McKinney, that's 8 first-round finishes in the UFC. 0 bonuses still. They need to stop being so stingy with these bonuses. I forgot who they give it to. They gave it to Alexa Grasso and Joe Pyfer. That's the 2 bonuses. Performance of the night. Nothing to Terrence McKinney. They're only doing 2 performance of the night and 1 fight of the night. They're being stingy now. It's 100K. And they're fucking using AI on these trailers, dude. Like, come on. It's either... I'm gonna make a video about that on TikTok. They're fucking being stingy as fuck, dude. Stingy as fuck, bro. But whatever. Terrence McKinney comes out here. From the first jab, I was like, okay, this fight's over. Cal Nelson had the worst reaction. He was like this to a jab. And then Terrence McKinney just kind of comes down another jab, like a 1-2. And then a head kick that doesn't even land. But Cal Nelson brings his knee all the way up to his chest. Again, you only get inside low kicked. And then comes like this and then gets knocked off balance. I said this in my prediction. When Cal Nelson is in chaos, he like wails around like a retard. He like wails around and gets off balance. And then Terrence McKinney, which is bigger than him, like very physically imposing. Terrence McKinney's a big dude. Head kicked him, didn't even land, and then I think landed like a knee landed a knee before that, then a head kick. But the knee was to the body or barely even hit the body. Dropped him down and just rained elbows on him. Or ground and pound hammer fist. And none of them were really landing, but like you're just sitting there like this. Like, yeah, they were maybe hitting the guard, but you're in a bad position. You're not even defending yourself, bro. I'm happy for Terrence McKinney. I'm glad he won that. Fuck with Terrence McKinney in his home state as well. Cal Nelson fought retardedly. First round knockout. That was a great main card. A really good main card. We had I picked this properly, round 1 TKO. Picked round 3 TKO for him. Picked round 1 TKO here. Picked round 2 sub. Round 1 or 2 sub. So you got it. I picked Barber by decision. I picked Izzy by decision or KO. And of course, below Pyfer I did say if Pyfer wins, will be a round 2 TKO. So I'll take that. Now to the prelims. The bloodiest fight I've ever seen. Fight of the night. Fucking Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tafik Musayev. So, this fight, let's go back to it. Early on, Bahamondes. Okay, this was okay. So, happened in the second round. He was controlling the range well, staying at the longer range and working well. He was working the body well with kicks. His timing looked great, and Musayev was catching a lot of kicks, which would come in handy later on in the rounds to take down Bahamondes and be on top, things like that. So round 1, it was just kind of Bahamondes being a bigger, longer guy, getting out of the way of Tafik's shots, but landing well back. I think he did outland him pretty decently in the first round, if I had to guess. No? 20-11. Okay, so did outland him pretty well. And round 2, Nacho lands a huge left hand, drops Musayev, gets on his back and starts weighing down. About to suplex him. When he's getting back up, Musayev grabs the cage like a blatant cage grab. But Nacho goes like this to throw him back, and he gets pulled back into it. Gets put in a bad position. And Musayev recovers well, gets down on him, and then rains some ground and pound and lands a huge elbow that just bloodies up Ignacio Bahamondes bad. Bad. He loses a round after dropping him early because of this. And he just stayed too active on bottom. Like, he's good there. And I think he gave up this round by staying on the bottom. There's just ground and pound after ground and pound. I don't even know if he got up at this point. There's so much blood. I don't know how he's fucking still standing. I've lost some blood before from my finger. It was like pooling down. I was lightheaded. I had to finish. I just stopped my lift. But then these guys could fight after losing all that blood. I don't get it. But yeah, fucking cheater. Dude, that completely changed the fight. Nacho would have probably been up 2-0. Or they would have had a point taken. Or it would have been a draw if they took the point. I think they should have taken a point for that cage drop. That was terrible, dude. Especially after a big knockdown. Where you're a little dazed and then this guy's trying to get a takedown on you. Oh. Terrible. That cost me my pick. I picked Nacho by a finish. Oh, shit. Picked Nacho by a finish. And then round 3, it started evenly. Tafik caught a kick, took him down, landed ground and pound. And Bahamondes, same shit. Was just too sub-hungry. He did sweep him at one point and got the back, but it was too late. Too slippery. And it looked like Musayev was trying to bite him. There was like one point where like, I don't think he was actually trying to bite him, but Nacho was like had the arm around the neck, and Musayev was like, I don't know if he was actually trying to bite him. I don't think so, but hey, cheater. He did have a headbutt too. I don't know how bad the headbutt was. I didn't really see it. But yeah, I mean, he lost 2-1. One judge gave it 30-27, which was crazy. The judges were pretty ass this whole card. Yeah, round 2 and 3, I think were both 10-9s for Musayev. Not a 10-8 because he did get dropped bad. Should have been a 9-9 in round 2. Probably been a draw, honestly, with the point take. Then we have Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson. Chase Hooper gets knocked out in the first fucking round. And this little twink of a thing, like, I know we like him. He's a fan favorite, but he sucks. He's a BJJ nerd that fights MMA. He should be fighting Mikey Musumeci after we've seen these last few fights. Anyone with power or ability, he has no ability to strike. He does have some nice kicks, but they're like just floppy around RDR style. He's like a RDR style striker. No wrestling whatsoever. He got on a nice single leg, but couldn't do anything with it. I think that's when Lance Gibson landed the huge elbow. Yeah. So Chase Hooper really couldn't chase him down. He couldn't deal with the movement. Lance Gibson was doing a good job countering, and landed a big elbow on Chase Hooper. When I think he was on the single leg or it was in the clinch. Lance Gibson landed a huge elbow, stuns him, knocks him back, and lands a huge kick. I think it hit the neck and the body and the chin maybe a little bit, and then just landed some ground and pound. And that was it. Chase Hooper's chin is fucked up. He has no wrestling, no striking. Same shit we saw in the Hernandez fight. It was the same deal. No striking, no wrestling. You go up against a guy with some power or a good striker, you're fucked. He's fucked. His chin's fucked. He's been knocked out twice in a row already. A couple times before this. Lance Gibson, though, I'm happy for Lance Gibson. A good bounce back performance because he did get kind of wasn't good. He wasn't a good performance against Bobby Green, but it was short notice and stuff. And it's Bobby Green or King Green, who was a tough fight for literally anybody. So I'm happy for Lance Gibson. He seemed a little bit of a dork in the post-fight speech. I liked it though. And then in the post-fight interview, seemed a bit dorky, but you know we like that. We like that dork shit around here, that corny shit. We're Izzy fanboys. So good win from him. I'm happy for him. And Shea Super, bro, we gotta get in the lab, dude. We got to get in the lab. We gotta get some wrestling. Fucking go to Bilal's camp or something. I don't know. But whatever you're at now, I don't know where you're at, but fuck, that was bad again. Now, Wilson Tybura versus Tyrell Fortune. Tyrell Fortune stepped up on short notice and beats a top 10 heavyweight in Marcin Tybura. Holy shit. So round one, Fortune took him down. Got some good ground and pound work. Tybura did find his range and Fortune looked a little gassed. Round two, there was not much shit landed. Probably Tybura, but Fortune landed nicely. So I did give round one to definitely Fortune. Takedown and then landed more and landed good. And then round two, probably gave to Fortune as well. Or did I? Which one did I give to him? I give one of these, I think round two to him. Because he did land pretty well. He's landing bigger. Tybura was landing kind of like pitter-patter. And then round three was definitely a Tybura round. This guy looked like shit. Fortune, he did look a little gassed, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. If I'm not mistaken. But whatever. A shitty fight. But the funniest shit, like, I know everyone saw this. Bruce Buffer reading the score. I thought 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. I was like, there's no way they give us Tybura. It's 30-27. It has to go to Fortune. Fortune definitely won at least one round. And then they say Marcin Tybura. Fortune looks a little annoyed. Tybura's like... Tybura reminds me of a big fucking polar bear for some reason. I don't know. It's like a big, like nightmare fuel polar bear. When he opens his mouth, he's like... But Fortune walks out the cage. Then I'm like watching. I'm like, why is the camera like so awkwardly on Marcin Tybura? I'm like, they were on there for like a good 30 seconds, just like, and Tybura's just like, and Fortune's walking out to the back. I see him walking back. I'm like, no way they just got the win wrong. No way Bruce Buffer just read that shit wrong. They come back in. I see Herb Dean putting back on his gloves. They announced Tyrell Fortune as the winner. That was some crazy shit. Like, that was some crazy shit, dude. Funny, but I feel bad for Tybura. I feel so bad for Tybura. Imagine that. You don't get your win money. He better get his win money for that. He better get his win money for that. You don't get your win money. You don't get the win. But they just fucking blue ball you. That's fucked, dude. That is fucked. But Tyrell Fortune, it's funny. It was funny watching him, bro, because he looks like every single like black American dad, or there's some plays football. He looks like he's like the typical black American dad, or they're into sports and shit. It's like bro. He's perfect. The amount of tattoos, the facial hair, the build, bro. Funny ass shit here, but not a great fight. And Casey O'Neill. Nearly Golden Freddy's Gabriel Fernandez. I wasn't watching this fight too much. I was doing some schoolwork. But Casey O'Neill just hit her hard. You know, I don't know what she hit her with. Backed up against Cage. Had a nice. This was a Rafael Caquera moment from Gabriela Fernandez. This is true Rafael Caquera core. You get up against a fence. You're not like you're trying to throw back, but you're not, and then you're in it. Then you're like. You get hit one more, and then hit with another one, and you just drop. Wasn't a true Gordon Freddy because she was awake. But it was a Rafael Caquera moment. This was a Rafael Caquera TKO from Gabriela Fernandez. That was funny as fuck to see. That's immediately what I thought early on. Like a Rafael Caquera versus Ibo Aslan type shit. And then we had Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. Navajo Sterling, I'm not too high on him, bro. The usual good takedown defense. Just too chill. He had Bruno Lopez up against the fence a couple times, but doesn't get aggressive. He lacked the aggressiveness up against the cage and the closer ranges where you do and you should have someone like Bruno Lopez in danger and really make them feel your presence, your power. Well, he did not. You know, I feel like he in those close ranges he doesn't really like it. That's why I'm worried about Oberg. Not worried, but I think Oberg may get fucked up against Yuri because in those close ranges, I don't think these city kickboxing guys work well in boxing. They have bad boxing mechanics, like close range. I mean, Oberg's probably a little better than these guys, but I just feel like if it's like right there in that tight range, Yuri's gonna thrive in there. Nabo starting, and then the second round, what happened? Fuck, dude, it open. He landed a big right hand on a left hook, and just ran on Bruno Lopez for like a minute, and just wailed on him. Basically, I thought the fight could have been stopped a few times. Bruno Lopez got dropped, came back up, dropped, came back up, dropped, came back up. I thought the fight could have been stopped, but earlier, but whatever. He let him fight. Bruno Lopez, like, he was still in there, but a lot of damage on his side. Narvo Sterling, good win, but I think he did call out Ian Kudalaba. I think that's a good next fight. That's good for next fight. Ian Kudalaba accepted as well. And now Ricky Simon versus Adrian Yanez, a draw, where a majority draw. We're looking at round one stats. Based on 16-12, it was a pretty even round. I'm not super mad at a draw. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I'm not super mad at a draw. I know some people scored a 30-27 for Yanez. Because the 6 strikes Yanez landed more, but I don't think being controlled for that long of a round and the striking being pretty even, you could get that round. So I think round 2 went to Simone 100%. That was the only decisive, or that was the decisive round for Simone. Round 3 was clearly decisive to Yanez. You could have scored it at 10-8. I'm not mad at scoring it at 10-8 because he did beat the shit out of him and then almost knocked him, or almost finished him, knocked him down. Really, really like bad position for Ricky Simone. Like 2 more seconds and it probably would have been stopped. A really bad look for him. Almost got stopped, but Ricky Simone was able to stand back up after the bell. So either 1-1 or 1-1 with the 10-8 to Yanez for these 2 rounds. Round 1 was super close. Live, I gave it to Simone because I felt the striking was very, very even. Yanez did land a little better, but not enough to be like, oh, he for sure won that round. I thought Simone landed more, but looking at the stats, he didn't. I thought he controlled the cage a little more. You know, the aggressiveness aspect, when the striking and grappling is even, you go to aggressiveness and cage control and the scoring criteria as we looked at in the Lerone versus Movzar video. So I'm not mad at the decision. I think it should have been a Yanez win or a draw. Round 1 and 2 to Simone. Round 3 to Yanez and a 10-8. Because I don't think Ricky Simone should have won this fight after that. I think 10-8 for round 3 or 10-9 Yanez round 1. Round 2, 10-9 Simone. And round 3, 10-9 or 10-8 Yanez. I think Yanez should have got this win. It sucks too because he looked good, but didn't get it done. At least a draw, not a loss. And then this fight, I Show Speed beat Bruno Brazil. Bruno Brazil just really can't do anything. Just gets taken down at will, and then whatever. I don't really care. So that's my reaction or recap to this fight. Fight night, very good card, very fun. The most boring fight was the first one, but then everything else was pretty fun after that. And even in a boring fight like Fortune versus Tybura, we had some fun. So I'll be posting this, obviously now, this morning, and later tonight, I'll be posting my fights to make next.